Hi all, hope you're having a good night. Before I jump into this, I want to first just say that in team games, trucks still aren't that good as they used to be, since they tend to get shredded to pieces when you have more than one person gunning you down. So this video is going to focus on how they are still super overpowered in solo mode, but only if you use them in this certain way, which I'll explain shortly. But first, some background. In case some of you don't know, the trucks were recently nerfed by having their acceleration and turn speed reduced, so they kind of suck now for running people over pretty much. And in the meta and Warzone right now, everyone just uses C4s and lots of other people use RPGs to go with it, so this pretty much makes vehicles even more useless in the late game if you're just trying to run people over for kills. So if vehicles are crap now for splattering people, why on earth am I saying that they are still overpowered in solo mode? Well, as you've probably seen in some of these clips I have rolling, I'm pretty much using them to instantly just put myself into an angle where I can quickly take out my opponent before they realize what's going on. Now, in my opinion, this is just completely broken, since you can be pretty much traveling at full speed on a truck or a car, and you can point your player view towards the person that's shooting at you, and whilst they're trying to shoot your truck or shoot you out of the driver's seat, thinking that you're just driving away from them, you can quickly and instantly exit your vehicle and start shooting back at them in the same millisecond whilst you're already pointed at them. So this pretty much gives you basically free shots to take, and they can't really do anything about it because firstly they're going to think that you're still in your vehicle, so they're just shooting at you there, and whilst you get off, then that gives you immediately know where they are, and you're already pointed at them, so you can instantly just shoot them in that same few milliseconds, and by the time they realize what's going on, they're pretty much already dead, and it's too late. So yeah, this is just so broken, and I don't know why no one in the testing team could figure this out, and I don't know why so many people don't know about this. It's mind-blowing to me how little people are using vehicles in this way, since if they knew how easy it was to get kills like this, everyone would be trying to land at the trucks at the beginning of the game, but at the moment I never see people do that, and I can always find a truck really easily when I land at the beginning of Warzone. Everyone, they try to go to the hospital or downtown or military base or somewhere like that where they think they'll get lots of loot, but actually getting the truck at the beginning of the game in solo mode I think is one of the best things you can do. Now, I think not many people know about this, and this is partly because many of the top YouTubers who play Warzone, they tend to play it in teams. And like I said at the beginning, this tactic doesn't really work in team games, since if you get out of your truck and you're trying to shoot one person down, either their ally will kill you first, or if their whole team is shooting at your truck at the same time, you'll pretty much just get killed very easily, since the trucks, even though they do have a lot of health, they tend to get killed really quickly when even just two or more people are gunning you down non-stop with an LMG or an assault rifle. So nowhere else on YouTube is showing them this off, at least not to my knowledge. So yeah, when this becomes when everyone figures this out and it becomes the thing that Infinity Ward has to remove from the game, just remember you heard it here first from me. And now for some general tips that I can give you for this. You'll want to firstly try and stick to open ground as much as possible. If you see someone retreat into a building or something like that, it can be tempting to take them out, but I'd say just avoid it, because most of the time if they're in a building or if they go back into some cover that makes it hard for you to have clear line of sight on them, they can just back out into cover as soon as you start shooting at them. And if you were traveling at full speed on your truck before you jumped off, it will now be really far away from you. So once they get back into cover and pop their heads back out, you will be at the disadvantage, and they can quite easily just take you out at that point. My next tip now is to always try and look for a trophy system if you can. Before the very recent update, trophy systems used to be really terrible because they only lasted for a few seconds or something like that, but now they last for around 10 minutes. So what you can do with them is you can stick them onto the top of your truck or car, and they will stop C4s and RPGs being shot at you. Yeah, you heard that right. You'll basically become unstoppable as long as the trophy system is active and they're shooting at you in that direction. It's hilarious. I've been in situations where multiple people are shooting at me with RPGs and they just don't do anything because they are hitting the trophy system. It's fantastic, so give that a try when you can. Now, my next little tip is to always drive in zigzags whenever you can, because good snipers and people who are good shots can still headshot you out of your vehicle. So driving in zigzags will make it very difficult, even for an MLG sweat, to take you out. So just remember to do that as much as you can. Now my last little tip is to keep your distance from your opponent as much as you can. It's best to find someone in open ground, and then when you have your target all lined up, drive on the side to them, with the side of your truck facing towards them, so you are just far enough away from them so that they can't easily C4 you. Then wait for the perfect moment. Usually when they start shooting at your truck, now is the right time for you to quickly get off and take them out before they even know what's happening. And with all that being said, I'll now go over my class setup at the end of this video, so enjoy the rest of the gameplay.
I will drive. I will be driving. I will be driver. I will be driver.
Now, for the class setup I'm going to suggest for this, I think it is essential that you run EOD. I've lost count of how many times this little perk has saved me, because a lot of the time as you're jumping out of your vehicle, sometimes your opponent will get lucky and they might fire off an RPG at you or blow up a C4 next to your truck or car or whatever, which if you aren't using EOD, the truck explosion combined with that RPG explosion will be enough to kill you, but only with EOD will you be able to survive that. So yeah, definitely use EOD for this. Now for perk 2, I run Ghost. Restock can also work for this, to help you regenerate C4s and stun grenades and stuff like that, but for what I've found nowadays is that I often get into situations in the late game where my truck is badly damaged and the circle has gotten small enough to the point where there are no more vehicles nearby, so I need to play the rest of the game on foot, which is where the Ghost perk really helps me stay alive by keeping me off heartbeat sensors and UAVs. And for perk 3, I'm using Amped for faster weapon swapping and faster RPG reloading. And for the equipment, I'm running C4 for destroying other vehicles. And I use the stun grenade, which allows me to quickly stun someone and put the odds back in my favor if I get into a sticky situation where they manage to, say, find cover quite quickly. And then I'm stuck in the open and my truck is now really far away. So I can then pop off the stun grenade and then quickly engage them from another distance or retreat back to the truck and find another way to take them out. Now, the heartbeat sensor could be good too, but only really as a backup tool that you can rely on if you have to abandon your vehicle in the late game and the circle is quite small. So that's where the heartbeat sensor could come in if you see yourself losing the truck later on. And now, as for the weapons I'm using, the Grau 5.56 is the assault rifle of choice, and the RPG is what I'm using as my secondary for destroying other vehicles. Now, I know in a previous video I recommended the MP7, but that was kinda before the meta really established itself, and back then not many people knew about the power of C4s and RPGs, so with a truck, for example, you could quite easily drive towards someone to try and run them over or get off your truck to just hipfire them with your SMG. But nowadays everyone knows how to kill vehicles quite easily with C4, so this doesn't really work anymore, and you need to really keep your distance, which is where the Grau comes in. Now, the Grau is my favorite assault rifle in Warzone, and it's widely agreed to be one of the best guns in the game. It has a slower time to kill up close than the M4 or RAM7, but it's more accurate and easier to handle, so it's just a lot more forgiving in my opinion. And for the attachments on this setup, I'm using the monolithic suppressor, Nexus barrel, 60 round extended mags, commando foregrip, and no stock. Now the no stock might come as a surprise to some of you, but I use it in this setup because it greatly increases your aim down sight speed and aim walking movement speed, which is great for dodging enemy fire as you strafe left and right. And also it allows you to quickly aim down your sights to engage someone as you jump out of the vehicle. Now, if I wasn't using the truck like this and I was just playing normally, I'd replace the no stock attachment with the Cronin Sniper Elite rear grip, the rear grip, or the void grip instead, as the no stock attachment does impact your accuracy quite a bit, to the point where if you're trying to full auto someone at long range, it's harder to do. But no, the Grau is still very accurate, even with the no stock attachment, so it's perfect for these kind of medium range engagements where you're getting off the truck and trying to shoot someone down. With all that being said and done, I hope you enjoy this video, and if you like this kind of content, please hit the like and subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks.